Hello everyone, my name is Dipendra Kumar Pakral and I'm going to present a topic, active listening for class Business 620, Managerial Communication. We're going to talk about active listening, we're going to define active listening, and we're going to talk about the elements of active listening. We're going to talk about the importance of active listening. We're going to talk about the principle of clarification. Let's get started with the topic. Active listening. First, I have this slide which individually defines each letters of listen. L stands for look interested and get interested. I stands for involve yourself by responding with gestures. S stands for stay on target. T stands for test your understanding by rephrasing what you just heard. E stands for evaluate your message. N stands for neutralize your feelings. Do not let your feelings interfere with your understanding of what the speaker is saying. Active listening. To define active listening is a way of listening and responding to another person with gestures to improve mutual understanding between the speaker and the listener. This is another picture that I have here with a guy with his ears open while he's listening. Elements of active listening. There's various elements of active listening. I have mentioned a few of them. First one is empathy. Empathy is the ability to be aware of another person's feelings. You want to make sure that as you are listening to a speaker, you are empathizing with what they're saying and trying to relate yourself with what they're saying so that you understand the situation a little bit better. Respect. Thinking well of the speaker. And rather than judging them according to your pre-judgment. This is very important because you may or may not feel the same way as the speaker feels, but you want to make sure that you give them the respect as they're speaking to you, as they're opening up to you about what they're saying, and try to understand and relate to what they're saying. Undivided attention. This is also another very important aspect of active listening. You want to make sure that you have your 100% attention given to the speaker as they're speaking, because that shows your respect towards what they're saying, and that actually promotes your relationship with the speaker, because it makes them feel like they were listened to and they were understood and acknowledged. Concreteness. You want to stay on topic at all times, not get distracted. You want to get the concrete information, accurate information, and avoid any kind of distraction that might come along the way. Some of the questions that you may ask as a listener to the speaker while they're answering your questions. Questioning skills, very good skills to have. This helps you to focus attention, make sure that you are on topic at all times, elicit ideas, the new ideas that the speakers might have about the situation. If you ask them the right questions, they might tell you how they feel and how you should respond. Encourage exploration. Try to understand the situation in a little bit more depth. Try to give them, the speaker, the chance to explain themselves a little bit better. Foster amendment. Any kind of misunderstanding, misinterpretation, mistranslation that might be along the way, with active communication, active listening, you can avoid that. Few questioning skills. I have not mentioned all of them. This is a list of a few. First of all, opening questions. Questions that encourage the speaker to open up about the information so that it can be obtained. Usually these questions start with WH questions like why, which, where, and how. Like, for example, which is the accurate form for that project? So they will tell you which exactly it is, and respond to your question, and the problem gets resolved. Probing questions. These kind of questions are usually used to clarify what has already been stated, or what has already been said, or to attain detailed information about the situation. Like, for example, the questions like, why do you think that is the case? Now, We know what is going on, but why do you think that's happening? Another questioning skill is closed questions. This is more direct. This asks for a yes/no response. Usually, this has to be used more carefully because sometimes these questions are direct and can seem offensive at times. For example, a question like, "Are you going to take that phone call? Are you going to prepare that document? Are you going to call the client?" Etc. Reflective questions. These questions are frequently asked to check our understanding of the situation. Like, say, speaker said, "Those kind of customers really irritate me." Now, your response would be, what does really irritate mean? How do they irritate you? What do they do in specific terms that make you so irritated? Hypothetical questions. Questions that allow us to gauge how the speaker might act or think about a particular situation. Like a question like, what would you do in that situation? How would you react? What would you do if a customer was angry at you? So you can kind of understand how they would react to a situation. You can understand what they would do. Now, another topic is, why is active listening so important? Personally, I believe that active listening is very important both in personal and professional life. Some of the important aspects are listed below, not all of them. Respect is one of them. Trust, productivity, accuracy, relationship enhancement, and conflict resolution. Now, respect. When you listen to somebody actively with undivided attention and with acknowledging gestures, they feel respected, they feel heard, they feel more comfortable speaking to you. So that obviously boosts up their respect for you as a listener. Respect and trust come together. Trust, as they feel respected towards you, as they feel that you respect them, they trust you more. They want to open up to you more. So it obviously enhances trust in a relationship as well. Accuracy. Now, as you listen to the conversation firsthand, you are listening to the accurate facts that they are saying, not something that the third person said or he or she said along the way. So you retain actual facts and accurate information. Productivity. With trust, respect, and accuracy, you have built a relationship that promotes productivity in your coworkers or in people you supervise, because they feel respected towards you, they feel trusted, so they want to make sure that they can do everything to increase productivity. Relationship enhance. Obviously, of course, if you have trust, respect, productivity, and accuracy, you're going to see an enhancement in relationship. Conflict resolution. Like I said, if you have the first-hand information heard from the individual directly, then obviously you will get a better idea of the situation and help resolve conflict. Principles of clarification. These are some of the important topics or lists that I've made. You want to make sure that you listen more than you talk to make sure that you understand the situation better. You want to make sure that you listen to what is personal to the speaker. You want to make sure that you understand where they're coming from and react that way. Appreciate the sentiment. Sometimes the speakers might be angry at you as they're speaking to you. They may be excited. They may be happy. You have to make sure that you understand where they come from. Respond with acceptance and empathy. Sometimes we do not accept, sometimes we do not agree with what they say, but we have to keep an open mind. Do not let our personal opinion hinder our judgment or while listening to them, so we get a clear idea of what they're saying. So it is very important to be clear about these things. These are two gentlemen shaking their hands after a mutual understanding, what it seems like. These are some of my sources that I've listed: active listening, communication skills, and now Discover Your Strengths by Marcus Buckingham. I conclude my presentation.